Hola, hi everybody. Welcome to your Feminine Currents podcast. I am your host, Jordan, and it is so nice to connect with you here. Thank you for being here and for sharing your energy with me. I am so excited today to talk about this week's topic, which is the new moon in Sagittarius. And this relates to truth, natural law, our belief systems. It's also higher learning. It is also about our intuition. And so much of this podcast is about connecting to our intuition as a way to recover our nature and as a way to operate from our authentic selves, creating a life that resonates with our truth and is in resonance with the life that we desire and want to embody. And as we are becoming more of our natural selves and evolving forward in this new energy of new earth, you can call it, the universe is really gifting us with these moments, these revelations, this whole entire evolving process of truths coming forward, rising from within, where we are having these revelations of knowingness and interaction with the wounds that we've been carrying that created a false sense of self and a false core belief that we may have been operating from starting at a very young age. And this is also the energy of experiencing emotional dynamics and patterns and behaviors and interaction with others that are bringing forward what happened in prior lifetimes when we were persecuted, or when we were shamed, or when we were ostracized, or experienced some form of trauma that catapulted us into a point of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn in order to survive. So take what resonates, as this can be linking these revelations and these core beliefs that are coming to the surface that are no longer in resonance with your truth and are showing you the wounds in which you've been operating from in order to survive. It can have to do with this lifetime, absolutely. And like I said, this is about connecting the dots. So allow yourself to create space, meditate, get quiet, and form a relationship with this energy, this new moon in Sagittarius, because what it's doing is it's bringing forward the wisdom. Because it can be overwhelming and overpowering in the moment when we are realizing, wow, like I made those choices. I interacted with those people, those relationships, or I formed that pattern that I know I'm fully aware of now and not really knowing why. Yet now I know why, because I was operating from this unconscious false core belief that is not in resonance with who I naturally am. So this is an opportunity for allowing, for your divine feminine energy. You're allowing with discernment, listening to your intuition, and declaring what is yours, what is not, and what is your truth on a very deep emotional level that is from the root of your pure nature, your pure sense of self, your true self-value, your true self-worth. And having compassion, embodying compassion for yourself, and offering love and acceptance, making peace with, okay, I see that I was operating from an unconscious, false self, from a false belief system, from a false sense of values, because perhaps the information that I really needed was hidden. However, that information that was hidden provided me with the pathway to experience these lessons that I chose on a soul level. And so here I am. I am now embodying and representing and living as who I naturally am, with empowerment and with the wisdom that my intuition is providing. I'm able to now move forward on a different path. This new moon in Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Cancer. And it's also squaring Chiron in Aries. And so there are these emotional dynamics of wherever we were wounded within the self, wherever our authentic self, our true self, was not able to truly shine because we were experiencing or surviving, operating from these wounded parts of us that are from a conditioned self. So something that we learned, something that we had to learn, something that we had to be in order to survive. And so Jupiter, since it rules Sagittarius, and it is about truth, it is about our intuition, it is about our belief systems. Our values are shaped by, or correct me, or I'm correcting myself, we operate from core values, right? And so our values shape our belief system. And our belief system shapes our reality. So this is a beautiful opportunity to get really honest with yourself and declare what is emotionally true for you and the ways in which you relate to yourself. What is true for you? And what is it that you're creating from your embodied self, true self, so that you can break free from these old belief systems, these old ways of being that are not naturally connected to you. So I'm slowing down because I'm really feeling this energy, and it feels like when I check in and intuitively experience the energy, it literally feels like there are parts of me just dissolving off in chunks. And the key to this is to not overthink it, to not overanalyze, to not even think about it for one more second, and to really allow your intuition to be your guide and to feel into these parts that are literally falling away, to let your shoulders soften, and to get really present with what your intuition is speaking to you at this moment. And so Jupiter in Cancer is has been calling us forward for a while now, especially during this time, this Sagittarius New Moon, to re-experience the emotional dynamics of the past that have to do with the false sense of self. So you might find yourself having to relive, relearn, redo, make a new choice. And the Cancer energy is asking and inviting you to really tune in to your intuition also, and to declare what is emotionally true and authentically you at this moment in time. So you may be, like I said, experiencing old lessons, old emotional dynamics, having to confront these parts of you that can induce crisis. And the overthinking mind has no real ignition right now. And so Mercury rules the mind. Mercury is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is your intuition, right? So your intuition is really whispering very loudly right now to help you liberate and free yourself from whatever false belief system that you were previously operating from, the false sense of self, and what is no longer in resonance with who you truly are. And so this Sagittarius New Moon is also squaring Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces, who are closing out. Saturn is closing out a 30-year cycle. Neptune is closing out a 165-year cycle. So we will never again have this lunation. We will never have this lunation where there's a new moon in Sagittarius squaring both Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. So keep in mind that Jupiter is trining that Saturn and that Neptune. And I feel so in awe of this cycle. And I'm so honored to be a part of it and to be able to experience the wisdom of what it's providing and the process of liberation that is liberation and healing within this cycle that is going to carry us through into the new year and into 2026, because these old parts of us cannot go. They literally cannot go. The energy will not support it because it's no longer in resonance with who you naturally are, and who you were operating from at that previous point was a false sense of self, and it was also from a wounded self that needed to survive. And because of all the Sagittarius energy currently, it's very possible that you are experiencing, even down to an emotion that is from a previous timeline, a previous lifetime, when you experience such trauma or such emotional wounding that you weren't able to heal at the time. So much of this, of our reality right now, can't be understood by the logical mind. So this is a further, more in-depth, even more in-depth invitation to connect to your intuition. So this new moon in Sagittarius is happening on December 19th, depending on where you are in the world, and I am celebrating it with you. Just remember that whatever is coming forward, revealing itself as a previous false truth and showing itself as an illusion. Wow, I've been operating from that illusion. That's not actually true. I am now allowing it to dissolve. And I am declaring my authentic truth, my value, my self-love, and my true belief systems, and how I emotionally relate to myself. Because with that energy, I'm going to be able to go out there into the world and share my gifts and share my talents as a way to create a positive impact and to help everybody move through these new realities that are becoming tangible. 2026 is going to be so much different. And we truly need to embody listening and navigating from our intuition. As a way to show up for ourselves and with others in community. So as we are individuating, becoming our own person while connecting with the universe, with a higher perspective of wisdom and truth, honoring who we naturally are, we can do this together. We can walk in community together. So feel free to take a moment for yourself and meditate on this, I invite you to do so. Journal, whatever it is that gets you really quiet and connected to your higher self. You may experience this information coming through your dream state. So really pay attention to what's coming through. And if you want to learn more about connecting with your intuition, trusting your intuition, I have some information below that will lead you to a free PDF and meditation guide that will help you begin the process of connecting to your intuition and what that looks like. I also invite you to check out, we have a monthly workshop that we do on Zoom that is also an experience to help you connect to your intuition and really understand the depth of where it's coming from and how to do so. So, and if you are looking for meditations, even courses, I have a whole plethora of those to offer on Insight Timer. So connect with me there. I would love to see you in any of those spaces. My information is always connected to the podcast, and I'm honored to share this space with you. So thank you very much for being here. I am sending you oceans of love, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.